Hey there everyone, my name is GamePar, and welcome to what is unfortunately the series final on InfinityCraft. That's right, InfinityCraft has abruptly, unfortunately, come to an end, and this is the final episode. So, before we sign off from InfinityCraft for the last time, I want to just show you a little bit around what we have managed to accomplish in this series, and boy oh boy have we been able to accomplish a lot. We haven't been able to quite finish everything that we set out to do, but I'm proud of what we've accomplished here on InfinityCraft. So let's take a quick journey through the builds and adventures we've had here on InfinityCraft. Back at the very beginning episode, we started out in what used to be this massive empty desert, and we dug down a hole somewhere in this area and we began to build our temporary base, which I guess became our series long base. And this thing sure did go through a lot of changes over the time, and this was simply a hole in the ground, and it grew into so much more. Smelting, cactus collection, and so much more. The first major project that we worked on here on the InfinityCraft server was the kelp farm, and it started out so much smaller. I'm not sure if you remember, but the kelp farm started out as just 2 columns. And we played around with the mechanics of the new kelp in 1.13, and this thing sure did produce. I'm sure that in the next adventures in Minecraft, I'm going to try to automate something like this that will just pump out the kelp. But this thing sure did provide. We built a kelp store, which nobody really took advantage of, but that was a whole lot of fun, getting the conduit, putting it down inside there, and this thing sure has produced. We moved on to then building this cactus farm, and this thing has produced absolutely insane amounts of cactus. And boy, is it ever relaxing just standing in here. You could just stand in here and relax all day long. And I can't even imagine how many pieces of cactus this thing has produced. It's been insane. We then moved on to building the Obsidian Void shop. And this is something that I truly am very proud of. And this stretched me with my building design, materials, and shapes. And this really cool void. I was so proud of this. This is incredible. And I'm sure that this is some sort of technique that I will use in the future. But we were selling obsidian, we were selling elytras, dragon heads, so much of that stuff. Made a lot of diamonds out of this thing. But haven't been down here in a while, so if you missed out how we did this, this is maps. This is all made out of maps, black maps. And I tried using black concrete to start with, but mobs were spawning down below, and it just ruined the effect. Tried putting string on the black concrete, and that just ruined the effect. Finally, the idea of the maps just plain worked, and it looks fantastic. And of course, we had our little escape hatch over here in case anybody ever fell in. We then moved on to producing our concrete factory. And I don't know if you remember, but this is where Silver's massive chicken ended up being. And at one point, this was the world's largest dance floor. But this has been something absolutely fantastic. We have gone through a whole pile of concrete in this series, and getting the concrete I needed for my major base would not have been possible without this concrete factory. And I really enjoyed just figuring out a really cool way to produce concrete quickly. And I've been really happy with this. Never quite finished the aesthetics of this thing, but definitely something I am very, very proud of. And of course, when you have a concrete factory, you must have somewhere to sell your concrete. And this here was our concrete market. Definitely not a traditional store. outside market. And this thing has produced a lot of diamonds for us over the course of the series. And I think that it really worked out well having these little tiny pavilions where we were selling concrete. Man, I'm going to have a hard time beating what I've done in this series in the next series that comes up on the next server. So this has been fantastic. And I know that we've got more diamonds in here. We've sold more stuff. So yeah, this was fantastic. Then we started working on our base up here, but we needed a whole pile of beacons, and so we built this thing. We built a massive wither skeleton because we needed to buy wither skeleton skulls from the other InfinityCraft members in order to get all the beacons that we needed. And we were selling those, well, we were buying those from the other InfinityCraft members for 2 diamond blocks per skeleton head. And it was definitely a bonus for us. We still had to grind out a whole pile of wither skeleton heads in the wither skeleton farm, but this definitely did speed up the process. And I think that this looks really cool overlooking spawn. It's kind of been fantastic. And then, of course, we built our XP store. And I've got to tell you, I have probably been the biggest customer of my XP store. This has saved me so much trouble. Every single time that I play in a world in Minecraft, I'm going to have an area to have XP generation, whether it's a store or whether it's just for my own personal use, because there's no faster way to reclaim XP than with this thing. This was fantastic. And it's all automatic, so if you take this out, you collect all of your XP and it closes up, and then it automatically opens up once it's restocked inside. So that was really cool. And finally, we have the base. And I'm so disappointed that I didn't get a chance to finish this. But perhaps we will do something similar in the next series. I think that this would have looked super cool had we had enough time in this series to finish it off. But I will do something in the future that matches or rivals this, and I will complete it. And I was going to be trimming the portal out with some white maps, but unfortunately we won't be able to see that. But this has been such a fun time, and I've met some incredible players here on the InfinityCraft server, and unfortunately we have to say adieu. So thank you so much for following me on this InfinityCraft series. Don't worry, this is not the last for me on YouTube. We are going to be starting something new. I'm probably going to start some sort of short series to play Minecraft on, and then we're going to start a brand new SMP with 1.14. So, I will be back, and you will see me in some sort of short series. I'm not sure what that is yet. Maybe GamePar learns redstone, because I definitely need to learn redstone. That could be kind of pretty cool. But for the final time, this has been GamePar playing on the InfinityCraft server. Have a great day, everyone.
Avery, what should everybody do?
Subscribe.
That's right. Subscribe.